WhyGuru, 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 WhyGuru,
बलिहारी गुर आपने द्योहाड़ी सदवार, जिन मानस ते देवते किए करत ना लागी वार। जे सो चंदा उग वह सूरज चढ़े हजार, एते चानन होंदियां गुर बिन कोर अंधार, गुर बिन कोर अंधार। वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा, वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह। Last week was slightly, it was termed as an intro the last time, but it was more than just an intro. It's like a foundation setting. We found the first time we did this course that the intro was too long and week one was too long. So we cut the intro right down and put a third of week one into the intro. So some of you guys, I can see you that you were here last time. If you missed it because you thought, forget it, who needs the intro? So you kind of missed out on a third, yeah? So if you were there, great. Otherwise, you'll have to wait till it goes online. But basically what we covered, I'll go through it quickly. In this whole thing we're going to cover now, everything past Guru Nanak Dev Ji becoming Guru. They were born enlightened, but from the time where they went into the river for 3 days, and they got given the title of Guru, before they were just Nanak, you know, a very spiritual person. The time they became Guru Nanak, what happened after that we're going to cover more today. But just quickly, last week we covered some of the themes, why they came on the earth, that the world was crying out for a new way, and they were sent with a mission. So it's an explicit mission stated by them themselves, that they've come to set up Dharam. It's in the same way that Guru Gobind Singh says that I've been sent by God to set up Dharam. Guru Nanak Dev Ji, in fact, by Udasis tells us that the world was crying out for him, that the Suni Pukar Datar Prabha Guru Nanak Jag Mahe Pataya. That the context of when they were born, there was a lot of persecution, there was a lot of idolatry, worshipping of stones, and the world had forgot that God was inside and that God was there to be realized, not just to be talked about, but to be realized. So they were sent to bring back that truth. And in fact, the quote in Guru Granth Sahib Ji is, the Muslim is one-eyed and the Hindu is blind. And what they mean by a Hindu is not your average kind of Pandit or Brahmin or somebody who's involved, but the average person on the street who just goes to mandirs and bows down to idols, yeah? That person is totally blind as per Guru Granth Sahib Ji, because they're not seeing God inside them and they can't even see the oneness of God. Whereas with Islam they had the oneness of God, but they were one-eyed because they weren't looking inside. And Guru Sahib is sent to kind of give that solution. And if you, does any hands up if you were here last week, just so I can check? Okay. And hands up if you know who Bhai Gurdasi is. Okay, roughly the same amount of people. I'll be quoting Bhai Gurdasi consistently throughout this course. The reason being, he stays with the Gurus. He's related to Guru Amar Das Ji. He's a Sikh of Guru Amar Das. He ends up becoming the brother-in-law of Guru Ram Das Ji. Then he's the uncle of Guru Arjan Dev Ji, and he's the grand-uncle of Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji. And he writes Sikh history. He's also picked to be the scribe of Guru Granth Sahib Ji. I've gone into this last week. You will get the slides, I think. There's printouts of the slides. So you can kind of follow that through. The point is, he's trusted both by Gurus and by the Sikhs. Yeah? So we have to take what he says as paramount, you know, truth recorded from the time, his first-hand accounts almost for us. And he himself says these words about Guru Nanak Dev Ji, where he says that the earth cried out for him and he was sent, that God sent him because the earth cried out for this new way. So for us, Guru has never been about, he just managed to, you know, as people say, he was a very enlightened soul. No. For us, Kabir Ji was enlightened soul. Farid Ji was enlightened soul. But not Baba Nanak. Baba Nanak was sent. And he was sent with a mission. So he was a man on a mission. You see what he does. He travels like a man on a mission. He doesn't stay in one place. He travels for 30 odd years. Second most traveled man in history. So, and it says that Maharaj called that the world is in a dark, moonless night. And he has come like the moon. And the clue of that is when you guys, every time it comes to Guru Nanak Dev Ji's Gurpurab, we always sing this Shabad, yeah? Which has a chorus, Chand Chadeya. You know, that Chand Chadeya, Miti Tund Jag Chanan Hoya, Chand Chadeya. So the mist is cleared, the light has come upon the earth, the moon has come up. So Kaljug is a moonless night, and in that moonless night, the moon has come up, and that's Guru Nanak. So he brings the light. He says his mission is to sort out the world. Literally, to reform the whole world. We talked last week when they were born, that they were special, that they learned from the Hindus and the Muslims. And then at some point they surpass their teachers. And they go on to go and get a normal job, get married. They have an interesting childhood where they're kind of detached from the world. Their father tells them, you've heard some of the stories, they're told to go and trade. And they spend all the money on feeding the holy people. They call that the true trade. And then you get this situation where they write Bani as well, when they're 7 years old, when they're 9 years old. And some of that Bani is in Guru Granth Sahib Ji. So the Jineo Shabad, which you've heard when they rejected the string, that's in Guru Granth Sahib Ji. And also the Shabad when they were 7 years old, where they say, that they explain the meaning of each akkar. So we've got Bani in Guru Granth Sahib Ji from when Guru Nanak Dev Ji was 7 years old, yeah? So it's before the Guruship. So that tells you that they were always spiritually enlightened, but when they are 27 years old, and they're living in a place called Sultanpur Lodi, they go into a river, yeah, for a bath. You've heard this, right? They're gone for 3 days. What we don't know is that, a lot of us don't know, is that the Bani talks about this. The Gurbani talks about this specific incident when they were called to the court of God. And Guru Nanak Dev Ji themselves on Ang 150 makes reference to this incident, where they say that I was an out of work tadi. Yeah? They call themselves a Vekar, Hontadi Vekar, Kare Laya. And the God, the Qasam, called me into his presence and gave me a job. And what was that job? The job was to spread out and spread the Shabad. Tadi kare pesao, Shabad vajaya. I was sent out to sing the Shabad. And effectively what Guru Nanak Dev Ji does for the rest of his life is spread out singing Bani. Yeah? And with him he takes a musician, by Mardana. So for us, the themes that came out was a Shabad is revelation. A lot of Sikhs of today's world are taught things like, they were enlightened, that they wrote beautiful poetry. But I think the one thing that we're not made absolutely clear, as per Guru's words, is that he doesn't claim any ownership of these hymns that come out of his mouth. Guru Nanak Dev Ji himself ascribes revelation. He says, God is speaking these words and I am just repeating them out to you. So it's very clear to us that when people ask us where was Sikhi made from, who made Sikhi, where did Sikhi come from, the first thing is that Guru Nanak Dev Ji is sent by God, and the second thing is that Gurbani is coming from God. Yeah, that just and the kind of proof of that is their own words. We don't have to take anybody else's proof for it. If we believe in Guru Nanak that he wouldn't lie to us, because he has no reason to lie to us, therefore if he's saying something this is what's happening, we have to accept his word first of all. Otherwise there's no point in believing in him. We don't need someone to prove to us what Guru Nanak Dev said. His own words say it. So he says himself, "Ta main kahya kaha ja tud kahaya." I spoke when you make me speak. He says to Pai Lalo, look, as the Bani of God comes to me, so I speak it out to you. Jaise main aave qasam ki bani, tasra kari gyan ve lalo. So those quotes are in the notes that you've got, and you can read those in your time. And then Guru Ram Das, he says even clearer to us that all Sikhs accept Guru's Bani as God's own words. Yeah, that God is himself making him say this. So, and all the Gurus say words to this effect, but especially because we're talking about Guru Nanak Dev Ji, I tried to get quotes that were by them themselves. Okay, so this week specifically we're going to cover everything from the time that Guru Nanak Dev Ji comes out of the river. So he says that he got given the revelation and the mandate from WhyGuru, and the Shabad comes from WhyGuru. But what comes after this specific incident when he goes into the river is this is what happens. Maharaj comes out and and quite controversially he says, "Na koi Hindu, na Musliman." There is no Hindu and there is no Muslim. Yeah, it's like in today's world, if you said there's no more Muslims, the world is absorbed in debating whether Islam is a problem or not. And at that time, where they were in Kartarpur, in Sultanpur, the world was pretty much divided into two groups, Hindus and Muslims. Yeah, and in that time, this young guy, 27 years old, comes out of a river, presumed dead, and the first thing he says is, "There is no Hindu, there is no Muslim. You're all mistaken." Yeah, that's quite controversial and quite revolutionary at that time. And they ask him, Maharaj, they say, "This doesn't make any sense. What do you mean there's no Hindu or Muslims?" And the Muslims at that time invite Maharaj to come to the mosque. And this is where the first miracle takes place of Guru Nanak Dev Ji. They call to the mosque to say, "Come and see the Muslims. They're here, come and see." So this mosque still exists, just in case you're wondering. Yeah, This mosque still exists in that village, and I've been to that mosque. Yeah, so you can see a nice old mosque, the small bricks of that period. Yeah, this is the place where Guru Nanak Dev Ji was called to come and pray. And they said to him, "Look, pray with us." Maharaj knows this, knows the Islamic prayers, because remember they learnt from a Maulvi, so they knew the 5 prayers. Yeah, and they join in, but they don't say anything. Everybody else is saying their prayers. Guru Nanak Dev Ji stays completely quiet, even though he knows the words. And they ask him afterwards, "Why? Why did you stay quiet?" And Guru Nanak Dev Ji says, "Because nobody was praying. None of you lot were praying. None of you were concentrating on the prayer." And he proves this by actually telling people what they were doing at the time, what they were thinking about. Yeah. So what you might call mind reading. But Guru Nanak Dev Ji, for us as a Sikh, is not a prophet. We made that distinction last week. It was a quite interesting discussion. That a prophet is somebody who speaks God's words, but isn't necessarily at the point where they're absorbed into God. They can still make mistakes. But as for Bani, Guru Nanak Dev Ji can't make mistakes. They have become Pura Guru. Have you heard this word, Pura Guru? Pura means perfect and complete. So Guru Nanak Dev Ji can't make mistakes. And Bani says that Pulan andar sabko apul Guru Kartar. Everybody can make a pull a chuk maaf karne. But Guru Ji can't make a mistake. And what we'll go through in the rest of this, so I gave the introduction last time. This course is not the academic introduction to Sikhism. This course is the introduction from a Sikh's point of view. A Sikh accepts Bani as supreme and then uses Bani to understand Guru, right? And Bani will say that Guru can't make mistakes, yeah? And the proof of that comes in all their actions. So the first thing they make here is they tell people that they're antarjami. You know this word antarjami? We say in Kirtans, antarjami purkha bidate. Antarjami means, antar means inside and jami means to know. They're the inner knower. And in the crazy Sikhi to Max translation, it comes up as the inner knower of the hearts. Yeah, that's what the word antarjami is translated to. What it means is they know everything. They know what's in your heart, they know what you're thinking. And this is what happens at that time. Guru Nanak Dev Ji proves it and tells people, you weren't really praying. Yeah? And he embarrasses these people that believe that they were. And straight away, they're accepted as a prophet. They accepted in Sultanpur as, you know, and even Rai, I think I can't remember his name, Rai Bahadur or something like this, the Mughal who's the head of that village, he accepts Guru Nanak Dev Ji as a prophet, a peer. So, now what I wanted to say to you guys, because people question the authenticity of these things, and there's a video about it on our channel, because there was a Christian guy who was trying to criticize Sikhi, and he made this video called Questions for Sikhs. It was like 12, 15 questions. And one of the things he asked specifically was, how do we know that they went into the river at that time? Good question, right? Yeah? Because you're wondering, like, you know, your children, my children, may never even go to India, may never even go to that place. But I've been to that place, and I can tell you that we know exactly where that place was, where the river was, and we also know where they used to work. We know where the mosque still stands. Now, part of the problem has been that Sikhs like to knock down old Gurdwara and build new Gurdwara. Don't look authentic. But it's like you've got the history preserved for you, but you knock it down, you make this inauthentic looking Gurdwara. So we need to preserve these old places. The mosque, luckily, is not in our hands. So it's preserved by the Muslims, right? But also, Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji, the 6th Guru, was quite keen on preservation of Sikh history. So where you see the main places of Sikhi, there's also normally a Gurdwara for Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji, because they came and stayed there, and they made sure those places were looked after. So in Sultanpur, there's a Gurdwara there for Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji. Yeah? So Guruji was interested in the preservation of our history as well. Okay, what happens next? Everything changes. And the key difference is that Guruji doesn't stay in the pin now. He gets up and he goes. He literally goes out on 4 journeys, almost back to back. Yeah? And these 4 journeys are called the Udasis. Now, one meaning of the word Udas in Punjabi now is, why are you sad? Yeah? So when I was growing up, I was saying, why are they called Udasis? Were they sad at that time? The other meaning of the word Udas is that there's these groups of people, there's these people called the Udasis. And what Udasis are, is they're separate from the world. Yeah? They kind of live totally covered in ashes, and they're separated from the world. So what they try to say is they're Udas from Maya. They're separate from Maya. They've taken the step to become separated from Maya or from the world. And in this time, because Maharaj was traveling, and he wasn't attached to his family and wasn't attached to his job, so therefore he's Udas, yeah, from the world. So he goes traveling. Now, why did he go traveling? Yeah? As per our history, Maharaj says, I went to find the Gurmukhs. Yeah? And even Bhai Gurdashi makes reference to this, that they go out to find Gurmukhs. So the word Gurmukh is not necessarily a person who follows Guru. A Gurmukh is somebody who is an enlightened person. Because for us the word Guru means from darkness to light as well, yeah? So somebody who's facing the light of Akal Purkh WhyGuru, the word Guru is in WhyGuru as well, yeah? So the one who is facing the light of the one is a Gurmukh, yeah? Because a Mukh means your face. So Guru Sahib goes out to find these people who are enlightened in what he calls Naam, connection. They're connected to the one. Because most people are not involved in connection, they're involved in ritualism. Okay, so that's what they go out to find. Along with them, Bhai Mardana, who as Sikhi holds it is Muslim. Okay? But as per Islam, they'd question whether he was a Muslim. Okay? Because what does Bhai Mardana do? Bhai Mardana ji sings music while Guru Nanak Dev ji spreads a new religion. Yeah? So that is anti-Islamic. So it's perfectly valid for Muslims to question whether he was Muslim. But it's not valid for a Sikh to question whether he was Muslim or not. What he says, that's what he is. But Bhai Mardana ji was kind of this, we have this conception where, you know, religious lines are very clearly demarcated, but in that time they weren't clearly demarcated. People still saw Guru Nanak Dev ji as a Peer of Allah, yeah? Not as a prophet of Islam, but as an enlightened teacher of God. So they followed him even though they followed, you know, Islam ostensibly. So Bhai Mardana ji follows him. Now they're very ambiguous in their outer look. You can't always tell what they are. This is why this idea of the cloak, a lot of Muslims will raise this idea, oh, he had a cloak on him that had the Muslim words on it. Guru Nanak Dev ji doesn't accept that there is a religion called Islam. He believes we're all humans and we're all trying to follow the light of the one that's inside us. So that's why he doesn't mind wearing this cloak with Islamic verse on it. But he doesn't keep it with him either. He gives it away. It's not found in Kartarpur, it's found somewhere else, you know, where he just travelled through, so he got it as a gift, and then somewhere else they left it behind. Okay, so they didn't keep it. It's still in pretty good condition, so it wasn't like they wore it every day. Yeah, because if you're going to travel 30 years, all your clothes are going to get pretty ragged, yeah? But that's not what happened to that cloak. Okay, now, one of the idea that comes up of why did Guru Nanak Ji travel is they didn't really travel to preach in that way. They didn't go out to gain converts, yeah? Just like when we're doing street preaching, we're not there to gain converts. One time they go to Multan. Yeah, Multan is now in Pakistan. And the people, they come outside the town because they hear there's this saint coming their way. And the head of the village comes out with a glass of milk. And the top of the glass of milk, they've put petals of, they've come with a glass of milk to the very top. It's full to the brim, the surface tension is holding in. And the idea of that is, we're full, thanks. Got loads of peas, got loads of people of all types preaching. We don't need any more prophets. We don't need any more new teachers. And Guru Nanak Dev Ji smiles at this example. They take out some jasmine petals from their pocket and they just put them on top. And of course petals just balance on the top, right? And it looks nicer now because the glass of milk's got some flowers on top. It's looking prettier. And they say, I'll be like this petal on top of the glass, yeah? I'll be just giving beauty to the whole lot. Yeah? That was a concept when they travelled. Okay, so 21 years they travel, 28,000 kilometers they travel. Yeah? Recorded fact. Now, they went to all the centers of the Brahmins, of the yogis, of the Muslims, and the Jains and the Buddhists. Now, why do I distinguish between just Hindu centers versus Brahmin, and yogi centers? Because as per Sikhi, when they talk about Hindu, they talk about the average Indian, yeah, who just follows not Islam, as in basically it's like not Islam, but Indian. Yeah? Whereas when they talk about specific groups of Hinduism, they refer to that group. So they talk about Brahmin, the Ved, the Kshatris, yeah? They talk specifically about them. So even the word Hindu, we've adopted it, but it's not an Indian word. What you've got are different religions within an Indian culture. So the yogis are a different religion in themselves. What they do is not like anything that the Brahmins do. Yeah? Some of these stories you would have heard about, right? When they go to Hardwar, they start throwing water towards Punjab. Everybody else is throwing it towards the sun. But Guru Nanak Dev Ji, with actions, rather than words, with actions, they do something strange. Now because of their persona and how they are, and what their personality is like, people are drawn to them. And they want to see, why is this guy doing this? Of all the things to do, yeah? And Guru Nanak Dev Ji says, I'm throwing water towards my fields, because you're throwing water towards your ancestors in the sun. And they say, that just makes no sense. They themselves say, that makes no sense, because surely your ancestors, yeah, your water's not going to reach the fields in Punjab. And they say it makes more sense, because Punjab is closer than the sun, right? and then they were like, oh yeah, it's true, you know. And then, you know, so basically they showed the hypocrisy of the world at that time. In Jagannath Puri, which is quite a famous place, it's still there now, it's a very famous Hindu pilgrimage center, there's Aarti taking place. And at that time, you know, like we see nowadays, like if you've been to Hindu Sok when you're at university, they have the thal with lights inside it and they're singing a song, Om Jai Jagadish Hare. It's a very famous tune, yeah? And that's Aarti. Now, Maharaj sees this Aarti taking place, and there's hundreds of people doing this in this place. It's like night time, you can see the lights. It's very evocative at that time. But Guru Nanak Dev Ji at that spot sings their own Aarti. And while they're singing a beautiful song, which is very similar in tune to the song being used there, they criticize the whole of that. What they say is, look, the earth, the sky, all these things are praising God. And yet we try and worship them with a little light in a thal. Yeah? Gagan mein thal rav chandi pakabane. Heard this one? Yeah? Tare ka mandla janaka moti. They talk about what the tare are doing, what the world is doing. Even the wind, they say, is like the Chor Sahib. Yeah? They say the world is worshipping Akal Purkh WhyGuru just in how beautiful it is. And yet we think we can worship them. So they criticize this idea of worship in this way, with lights and candles. But what they say is that you should look at the creation which worships the world. And then they say that what should we do then? And they finish off with Naam. Yeah? And it says, Sab meh jot, jot hai soy. Everybody's got the light inside them. And that light is of whose light? Is it their own light? No. It's the light of Akal Purkh WhyGuru. And how do we make this light come alive? Yeah? Gur Sakhi Jot Pargat Hoy, Jyotis Pave So Aarati Hoy. Guru Sakhi, the Guru's teachings. With the Guru's teaching, the Jot becomes Pargat, the light becomes manifest. So by following Guru, we can make that light manifest. And then they say, Jyotis Pave So Aarati Hoy. What pleases him is worship. Yeah? So we're going to please WhyGuru, and we can't please them with these things. We have to please them by going inside. So they criticize this, but in song, you know, they do it with style, as you might say. Yeah? when they go to Mecca, they're there, and Jivan Qazi comes up to them and kicks them because they're lying in Mecca, because Mecca is a town, yeah, and the specific spot is the Kaaba. So when they're lying down in Mecca, they sleep with their feet towards the Kaaba, then the black rock, and the Qazi comes up and kicks them, and they say, look, you know, what are you doing, you infidel, sleeping with your feet towards the house of God? And then Guru Nanak Dev Ji says, move my feet to where God is not. Yeah? You see, there's a clue in there, but the guy didn't pick up on it. So what he did is he picked up their feet and he moved them. Yeah? And of course, you know, because they gave that bachan, they move my feet to where God is not. Yeah? Then they couldn't. Wherever they moved their feet, the Kaaba, for all the people that were gathered there, a miracle took place. Now whether you say, well, I can't see any lines in the ground with the Kaaba moved, yeah? Well, that's not the point. The point, everybody there saw the Kaaba move. And when they saw the Kaaba move, they fell at their feet. And they realized something was different here. And what we don't know, when Bhai Gurdashi talks about this incident, so we don't have to doubt it, yeah? They talk about this. The next body after this, they say that Guru Nanak Dev Ji's chappals are kept to worship upon them. You know, like you keep a nishani. If you go to in India where they have the Sufis, you know, when somebody dies and they have like a samad towards them, where they have like the way they were buried, they often keep a few things of that person, you know, and people bow down to those things, say, oh, this was a great bead. So they keep Guru Nanak Dev Ji chappals there, the kaus they're called, yeah, those wooden chappals with a little stick in the middle, yeah, one stick just sits that, and they kept them. So somewhere in Mecca, yeah, Guru Nanak Dev Ji chappal, still there, yeah, who knows where they are? I bet somebody's got them, because those things don't get, you know, just shunted off. They have a discussion, yeah, on religion. They go to Baghdad. Now, some of these videos are on the YouTube channel, right? About Guru Nanak Dev Ji's travel. The one about miracles in Baghdad and Mecca, that's on there. When they go to Baghdad, that's Baghdad, as we call it nowadays, yeah? When they come outside the town, they make a very loud noise, yeah? It's like a bang. A bang is what the Muslims call to prayer. It's a very loud noise, yeah? And everybody's like, what's that? That's not the Muslim call to prayer. Who's this? So the whole town comes out. Remember, it wasn't such a big town at that time. They come out to see this new peer. Who is this person who's doing this sound? And then at that time, the major peer at that time in Baghdad is Peer Dastagir. Bhai Gurdashi talks about Dastagir now says, they start having a discussion, and they say there's 7 heavens and 7 hells, right? In Islam, they have 7 heavens and 7 hells. And Guru Nanak Dev Ji says, no, there's millions of heavens and millions of hells, millions of other planets, millions of dimensions. The world is too infinite for us to even categorize ever. You know this word asank? Asank jap, asank pa. The word asank means you can't count. There's no way of you having a ginti. Sankhya means to count, and asank means beyond ginti. So patala, pata, lak, agasa, agas. And they say that's blasphemy. Yeah? Mara says, I'll prove it to you. Yeah? They say, go on and show us. He says, okay. And he says, I'll take you on a tour of these places. Right? Now you might think, well, this is a bit crazy, yeah? But it's WhyGuru he writes this, that Dastagi's son, Mubarak didn't take Dastagir because maybe he wasn't up to it, or maybe he would claim that he'd seen these places and become the next prophet, who knows, yeah? Try to take power off that. They took his son, held him by the hand, and they disappeared. For everybody there, Guru Nanak Dev Ji disappeared. And they went on a tour of all these places. And they come back with prashad, yeah? From other realms. So basically they were like interdimensional travelers, you might say, yeah? Beam me up, Scotty, and off they went. Now, for us, we think this is not for a lot of people that are brought up like myself, from families that are saying, Guru Nanak is a great teacher, he was bringing the wisdom. Some of this stuff sounds a little bit, way outside the realm. But you got to understand, this is God's power. The one who made the entire universe, who made every planet, every place in the world, that power, that's what we call him, Jor. We call him Jor. So he's the one with the Jor. Now when you become a saint, when you become enlightened and become one with the Kartarpur like Guru Nanak Dev Ji was, then you have access to that power. It's as simple as that. There's no difference. The water and the glass have become one. The water and the ocean have become one. So it's the same. So they could do these things. And there's a plaque in Baghdad commemorating their visit. Yeah. For many years there was actually a Gurdwara there as well. They go to Sumer mountain, famous mountain. This mountain was the home of the yogis. Okay. Now, if you imagine in those times, the yogis were the most spiritually enlightened people. Okay. And the famous shabad that comes up in Bani by Udasis says that they went up to see the yogis, and the yogis said to them, what's the world like? And he says the world is in trouble. Yeah. And he says all the world's in trouble, the kings are robbing everybody, and all the spiritual people have escaped away to the mountains. Sindh, Chupe, Parbati. You're all in the Parbats, you're in the mountains. And the world is in trouble. So Guru Nanak Dev Ji criticizes them while they talk to them. Now the yogis say, it'd be great to have this young Nanak on our side. Let's make him in our panth, then we'll become the biggest. Just like, nowadays, even in our Sikh community, you might see some kid comes up who's really spiritual, and they're going to be like, the Jatha's going to be thinking, let's get him on board. Let's get him on our side, yeah? Then we'll be even better. So it's kind of the same thing happening back there, right? These guys are like, let's get him on our side. So they try to impress him with their magic. And they say to Guru Nanak Dev Ji, oh, get me a glass of water from the river. So Guruji goes to the water, and in their magic, they turn the water into jewels. Just beautiful jewels of all types. And they think, maybe I'll entice him with money. And Guru Nanak Dev Ji sees this, he comes back empty-handed. And they go, what happened? Because there was no water in the river. Yeah. So they get thrown off, yeah? Because he's not attracted by this stuff. And then they have a spiritual discussion. And that spiritual discussion is recorded in Guru Granth Sahib Ji. It's called Siddh Gosht. Yeah? The conversation with the Siddhs. It's a debate. Now what happens is, they start talking about Shabad and Naam. Yeah? And the Siddhs, they don't have access to this. So they're actually learning from Guru Nanak Dev Ji. And then the famous quote is, when they say, Tan Nanak Teri Vadi Kamai. Yeah? They accept him and they say, no, so this comes later, sorry, my apologies. But the point is that they accept him as an enlightened person, but they can't get him on their side. Much of Japji Sahib, if you didn't know, much of Japji Sahib is pretty much a discussion between Guru Nanak Dev Ji and the Siddhs. And it wasn't, nowadays they tell us, oh, Guru Nanak Dev Ji was enlightened and he gave Japji Sahib straight away. No. Guru Nanak Dev Ji gave the Sikhs in Kartarpur, Rera Sahib and Kirtan Soila. And the Sikhs asked him for Japji Sahib. They said, we want a morning part. Yeah? Mara says this to Naam. They said, no, we want a morning part. And Pai Lena, who then became Guru Angad, compiled Japji Sahib for us. Okay? And Japji Sahib was not written as one long discussion straight away. It's not like Sukhni Sahib or Asadi War or something like that. Was, or not sorry Asadi War, but Sukhni Sahib or Jaitsri Ki War or Patti Shabad. It wasn't written in one go. It was different Shabads from different times, conversation with the Siddhs, put together into one document. That's why parts of Japji Sahib, they don't flow with other parts. Yeah? So there's like the Ades to say Ades. Those are one conversation, you know. So that's why in the Ades to say Ades, the yogis are trying to tempt him and say, look, come live with us. There's a nice lady who makes food for us. You know, we'll have food together. She'll blow the horn and we'll have food. Maharaj says, Pugat Gyan, Daya Pandaran, Kata Kata Vajenad. I don't need the I eat Shabad. My Gyan is what I eat. Yeah? And the Pandarani is Daya. I need Daya gives me this food. Yeah? So, Siddh Ghosh is talking about this. They preached against this, they preached Grist. Grist even means married life. Okay? Not living up in the mountains. You know the famous Babarwani? Who's heard of Babarwani? Put your hands up if you've heard of it. Babarwani is something? No? Gosh, very few people. Okay, Vani or Bani is interchangeable. You see that in Punjabi, Balahari or Balaharne and Vari or Varane. So the Vava and the Babba are interchangeable in Punjabi quite a lot of times. Yeah. So Babbar Bani is what it means. Babur was a famous Mughal emperor. When he invaded India, where they were in Multan, he caused massacre there. And Guru Nanak Dev Ji criticizes him. Yeah? They talk about what happened there. So this Bani is called, and at the beginning of this Bani, Maharaj says, Jaise mein aave kasam ki Bani, taisra kari gyan velo. As the Bani comes from WhyGuru, so I make it known to you. And then he criticizes what happened there. And he actually calls Babur Jabbar. Yeah? To his face. Jabbar is a guy, somebody who's a dusht, you know, an evil person, an evildoer. And they get imprisoned. So our Guru was a prisoner. Yeah? So you should support SOPW, right? Because they're trying to help prisoners. Yeah, prisoners. We started with Guru Nanak. Bhai Sahib Balbir Singh came to the WhyGuru course in Southall last week, where we did from 84 to now. So that was the last 12th topic, and he talked about the history of imprisonment. And obviously, you see Guru Arjan Dev Ji being in prison later on. You see Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji being in prison later on. Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji being in prison later on. Every Guru, almost like four Gurus were in prison. Chote Sahibzade were in prison. Yeah. So Guru Nanak Dev Ji is the first Sikh political prisoner. Yeah. They speak their mind and they're in prison for it. And when they're in the prison though, they perform a miracle as well. Yeah. You know those things, the chakki that they make to grow. So they decide that they want to do part instead, not necessarily this chakki. So they just do some part and chakki just starts spinning by itself. Yeah. And now Muslims, if you didn't know already, Muslims are very superstitious. If you look at the back of any of these magazines, at the back you see people offering black magic. Yeah, they're all mostly Muslim. So when they see this thing happening, they freak out. And Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji also was asked to perform a miracle to prove that he was a prophet of God. So when they see this miracle happening, they go, oh no, we're imprisoning a man of God. God's going to be very angry with us for what we're doing. Yeah. So they bring him out in front of Babur. And they have a discussion with Babur. And Babur actually realizes how bad what he's doing. And they reform him there with his words. You know. So he's freed. Now, one other thing you might have heard about in Panja Sahib. Anybody heard of that Gurudwara Panja Sahib? You know that you've seen the stone, yeah, with the handprint, right? Now, when they're there, they go to this place in Rawalpindi, in Pakistan now, or Punjab before, and there's a guy called Wali Kandari. And now Wali Kandari, he's kind of like a Muslim magician, you might say, yeah. He's kind of spiritually with spiritual powers, and what he controls, this is water rights, yeah, access to water. He controls a spring at the top of the mountain, fresh water. And he basically, because of that spring, people want water, he gets them to worship him as well, because of this water. Now, Pai Mardana, there's a lot of stories of Pai Mardana being thirsty or hungry, yeah? So Pai Mardana is very thirsty, yeah? And he wants water. So he comes to Maharaj, I want water. Maharaj says, the water's at the top there, go and get it. So Pai Mardana goes up and Wali Kandari says, who do you follow? And he says, I follow Guru Nanak. He says, follow me instead, I'll give you water. And he says, no, I can't do that. So he goes back down and says, Maharaj, you know, I've been told to follow him if I want water. And Maharaj laughs. They take up the stick and they just smack it into the ground. Yeah? And as they smack it into the ground, the spring up there dries up and the water starts coming up from here on the ground. Now Wali Kandari is very upset because now his source of power is gone. Yeah? Of course, Guru Nanak Dev is not going to charge people, is it? They're going to give it away like langar for free. So he gets annoyed and he throws this big boulder on Guru Nanak, tries to throw it from the top, roll it onto them. And Maharaj just puts his hand up and stops this boulder. Yeah? So when we keep saying that our Gurus didn't do miracles, yeah, that's a complete lie. They didn't do miracles on demand. You couldn't put a knife to their throat and say, do a miracle, go on, or I'll kill you. That didn't happen. Yeah? Guru Sahib didn't care about themselves. Even Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji, he was, when we got to Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji, we'll get to that point. They didn't do a miracle when they were asked to. When they wanted to, they did. Yeah? Even Guru Harkishan Sahib Ji, when they were very young, 5 years old, even they hit Chaju, and Chaju started telling the Gita. Yeah? So this happened. Now that place is still there, that boulder is still there, with the handprint where they stopped it. But it's also about water rights. Oh, sorry. So when they got from all these travels, when all these travels, they stop and they come back and they make the city of Kartarpur. Now this is a key point, because most prophets don't found cities, or at least Kabir ji, Farid ji and all these people there, they don't found cities. So although Guru Nanak Dev ji is very spiritual, they one with the Kartarpur WhyGuru, they don't act like a usual prophet. They start doing things that are unusual. And one of those is to set up cities and found nations. At one point, Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji had a state within a state. Yeah? And it started with them. They set up Kartarpur. They don't call it Nanakpur. They call it Kartarpur. Kartar, the one who does. Yeah? They name it after a Kartarpur WhyGuru. And there's many towns in Punjab that were made by our Gurus. Okay? So Punjab's history is shaped by our Gurus. They have an impact just on the geography and on people themselves, not just by the spiritual message, but what they do. Now what they do is they set up Sikh practices. Now remember we talked about that they travel the world to find Gurmukhs. Guess what? They didn't find any, basically. The travel went to Rome. Recently the papal archives were released and they proved that Guru Nanak Dev Ji had been to Rome. Yeah? And went there with Bhai Mardana. So Maharaj travelled a lot. And they could have travelled even further, but they didn't write down their own history. Basically, they're quite humble. They just wrote down the Bani and passed it on. So what we have is what Bhai Gurdas wrote about. Okay? The daily routine at Kartarpur is described by Bhai Gurdas. And this is what happens there. So you might think, oh, I don't know, why do we do this now? Who says, where is it said? Back in Kartarpur, they were doing Naam Simran in the morning, and then in the evening, it was Rera Sahib, Kirtan Soila and Katha and Langar. So in the morning, Simran, then everybody individually would do Japji Sahib, Sodar, which is the evening prayer, and then Kirtan Soila. So even then there was 3 prayers in the day, morning, evening and night time. Just like we have Nitnem in the morning, whatever part we do in the morning, and then evening and then night time. And also there was Aarti as well, okay, at that time, which has kind of gone out of almost fashion nowadays in many Gurdwara, but it should be, Aarti is meant to be done in the evening. And Naam Simran in the morning, evening, Kirtan and Langar. So these are the practices that were prevalent at that time. So if you went to a Gurdwara 500 years ago, when Sikhi was made, you'd kind of get what was going on. Yeah. Unfortunately, a lot of our Sikhs don't know this routine. That's why I put it in this slide. Because I got a message yesterday from some lady who kept going to Gurdwara at the wrong time and it was always closed and Sukhasana was already done. And she didn't know what the routine was. Because obviously the routine's there, but it's written in Punjabi. So, if you can't read Punjabi, you're like, I don't know what's going on in this Gurdwara. So, there is a program, and that program now is the same program effectively since 500 years ago. Hasn't changed much. More part has been added, but nothing's been taken away. Okay? Broadly the same. And also, there was Amrit at that time. So, when you decided to give your head to your Guru, taking Amrit was still around at that time. So people sometimes think, hold on, I don't get it. Amrit is still around. Amrit was it's not a new discovery by Guru Gobind Singh Ji. Yeah? They just changed the way it was made. That's why when they say Amrit, they say Khande Batida Amrit. Or they say Pivo Paul Khande Dar. Yeah? Because Pahul and Amrit is the same thing. Yeah? It's an initiation ceremony. Right? And that was done in those times, but it wasn't done with the Khanda, it was done by Guruji's feet. So if you didn't know this, Charan Amrit is called. They used to wash the feet. Maharaj would put their feet in the pani and then Sikhs would drink that. And it was an act of submission. Okay? So that's why it says in Bani, you must have heard the Shabad, Gur ka darshan dekh dekh jiva, Gur ke charan toye toye piva. Yeah? Because that's Amrit. So, and Guru Nanak Dev Ji got Amrit from God. So what they're giving to us, they got it from Akal Purkh. Because it says in Bhai Gurdas Wara that they were given Amrit from Akal Purkh. So we say, where does Amrit come from? Effectively, it's the same Amrit that's flowing down from Akal Purkh to Guru and Guru to all the Sikhs. And in Kartarpur, there's equality of all people. Yeah? Everybody's equal. There's no religious bias. If you're Hindu or Muslim, there's no difference. They don't treat you differently if you're a Sikh. And there's equality of women. It's a model community. They didn't find the Gurmukhs. So what do? They made their own. They set up Kartarpur as a training ground for Gurmukhs. Follow this way here. And there was equality of women. Now you might want to question whether we've got equality now. Just the other day I don't know, sometimes you think in your head, something pops into your head, you suddenly go, but why? You know? And something came to my head the other day, why don't women do Kirtan in Darbar Sahib? You know? Why? And it didn't make any sense to me. So actually we're not applying these principles. And the thing is when we don't apply the principles, what happens is Guru Sahib doesn't bless us. You know, he wants us to do what he said. And then when we stop doing them, then the kirpa gets, reduced. So as Guru Gobind Singh said, when you follow my way, I'll give you all my support. When you go away the way of the Brahmins and the other people, then you won't get my faith. So this is what's happening. We're losing his kirpa because we're not doing what he said. And there's no role-based caste system. Now, does everybody here know what the caste system is? Do you know how it works? Okay. Alright, it's not like, we have in this country, we have class. Yeah? Class is like you can change your class. Make loads of money. One generation you're lower class, next generation you're upper class. Yeah? You might say, oh well, this guy's a nouveau riche or whatever, yeah? Just recently got the money. But in a couple of years, your kids or generations, they've gone to the right prep school, right pre-prep school, and pretty soon you can't tell them apart from other people. Okay? It's like these Chinese people that kind of buy their way into the English hierarchy because they kind of come from communist China, but they're really rich. And then they're over here going to Eton and all the right places. So effectively, you can change your class, but you can't change your caste. You're in that caste for life because your surname denotes it. And the caste means you do that same job. If you're a chamar, you do chamar work all your life long. You're not allowed to change. Yeah? It's kind of enforced upon you by the hierarchy of the above people. And if you try to change your caste, like let's say you decide, like, I'm fed up of leather tanning. I'd love to make cotton. Yeah? And that's what I really love to do. I'd like to do sculpturing. No. If you did that, they might well burn you, kill you. Yeah? And if you were lower caste, you were not allowed to do Bani. The Vedas they were not accessible to you. There's in the laws of Manu, which is a famous law book that enforces the four castes, it says specifically that if a lower caste person hears the scriptures, then you should pour molten lead into his ears. Yeah? It's not like we think nowadays, oh man, discrimination, can't get married to the caste. It wasn't about marriage, man. That was like way out there. You couldn't study with people, you couldn't own property, you couldn't even go anywhere near. If your shadow fell on the food of a Brahmin, they would throw that food away. Your shadow. Yeah? So that lines they draw on the floor? They would eat their food inside that circle, so no shadow could fall upon them, upon their food. Right? So it was extremely, it was like racism taken to the next level. You could never change. Right? And in Kartarpur, there was no such bias. Guru Nanak Dev Ji himself was farming. He wasn't from a farming background. He was a Khatri, a Vedi. Yeah? So he would have been mostly involved in trading. But he didn't just trade, he did farming as well. And he would serve the Sangat as well. Maharaj would make langar, Maharaj would do seva. The famous story is when they met Pailana, they held Pailana's horse and walked him up to their house. Yeah? Guruji did farming. And this is an interesting point. They taught Shastra Vidya to Baba Buddha Ji. Now you might say, who's Baba Buddha Ji? Good point. Baba Buddha Ji is a Sikh that goes from Guru Nanak as a young child, lives through till Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji's time. He's 125 years old when he passes away. Yeah? He's actually another Baba. Right? And he's like one of the main Babas in Sikh history because he knows Guru Nanak intimately. Yeah? They know them when they were a very young child. And when they were a young child, they met Guru Nanak. The story goes like this. They were a Sikh and they were sitting next to Guru Nanak Dev Ji, and their name wasn't Buddha Ji at that time because Buddha means old person, right? And they saw this fire, the firewood's burning. And the little sticks were burning very quickly, and the big sticks, the big logs, they were taking a long time to burn. So they say to Guru Nanak Dev Ji, I'm really scared. Maharaj says, why are you scared? He goes, those little sticks, they burn really quickly like me. He goes, I'm going to burn very quickly. But if you're older, you take less time to burn. So Maharaj says, you got a lot of wisdom for a young kid. And they called him Buddha for that, because he's got Buddhyadi wisdom. Yeah? So, like we say, Buzurg is supposed to have Syana. Syana means old person, but also means somebody who's got intelligence. So they said to him, you're Baba Buddha Ji. So his name was then. Now Baba Buddha Ji is very important in our history. So basically, Bhai Gurdas Ji and Baba Buddha Ji are the two people we'll be discussing. Yeah? And what they did and stuff comes up in the course. some more tales of their travels. Yeah. There's a fair, probably still going on right now, I would have thought. It's Shivratri, yeah, the night of Shiva. And it's celebrated in this place in Punjab called Achal Batala. Bhai Gurdashi makes reference to this. So Guru Nanak Dev Ji decides to go there as well, you know, see what it's all about. When they go there, a lot of Sangats swarm to them. They give them loads of money. Now remember, religion, yeah, it's a lot to do with money, isn't it? You agree? Yeah. If you see Gurdwara nowadays, you can't book a slot, yeah, because the Granthis are like, well, that's my slot. Why? Because they're going to get money at that time, yeah. It's not about this. It's not about the let's teach people Sikhi. It's a lot to do with money, isn't it? So when they go to this place, right, the yogis and the Siddhs at that time, they're very annoyed because they were expecting that money to come to them. Because obviously, you know, it's like a zero-sum game, isn't it? At that time, you go there with some money, then you know, some people get it, other people don't get it. So Maharaj they start to get very annoyed. And at one point, there's a pot of money that some devotees have brought along. And what the Siddhs do is they hide it because they don't want it to go to Guru Nanak Dev Ji. And those devotees are very upset. You know, our money's been stolen, where's it gone? And Guru Nanak Dev Ji, he finds it for them. Yeah? He says, I'll do you a favour. Because they're obviously the Antarjami, so they know everything, effectively. And they find it for them. Yogis get very enraged by their behaviour. And they decide to do what they do best, attack. Right? So Guru Nanak Dev Ji then gets attacked by these yogis. Yeah? And Bhai Gurdashi writes this down. But they don't attack him in normal ways. They attack him with spiritual powers. And now you might think, oh, this is a bit crazy, as you're grasping, what's he on about? They start turning shape. They start attacking him in lightning. They start turning shape into, like, one turns into lion, another one turns into other things. So there's this kind of shapeshifter thing going on. Right? When I read this the first time, I was like, this is a bit freaky. Yeah? But actually, you can get it because, you know, those people, some of those you could live for hundreds of years. There's a good example, you might not even think this. In Harmandir Sahib, right next door to Harmandir Sahib, there's a place called Santokhsar. And the history of Santokhsar is, when they were digging that pool of water, they dug down, they found a yogi down there. Yeah? Down underground, you know, in a sort of cave. He'd been there in Samadhi for hundreds of years, thousands of years. They dug him up and they brought Guru Nanak Dev Ji and said, Maharaj, what's up with this guy, you know? Maharaj woke him up. No, sorry, they didn't call Guru Nanak Dev Ji. They said to him, and he was woken up, and the first thing he asked, his name is Santokh Das. He says, is it the time of Guru Nanak? He asked. And they woke him up, and they say, well, yeah, but it's Guru Arjan now. He's the fifth Nanak. And he goes, great, where is he? And they go straight to Guru Arjan Dev Ji, and they say, are you Guru Nanak? They say, yeah. They say, well then, can I have Amrit, please? Yeah. And Guru Arjan Dev Ji gives him Amrit, and then he just, that's it, leaves his body. Thanks. He's done his job. He waited for that Vela. Yeah. So these guys, they could change shape. So they attack him. And Bangarnath gets very annoyed, and he says, your clothes are spoiling our show. Because guess what? Guru Nanak Dev Ji didn't look like our Baba nowadays. Nowadays, you know, the Baba clothing is like, you know, standard set, white pug, white chola, yeah? Or nowadays, you've got some flashy Babas, they wear like kind of all kinds of funky colours, right? It's got to be matching anyway. But the point is that they've got this kind of outward look. And the Baba Hanam's a good example. The Baba Hanams, they never used to dress like a Baba, innit? People used to assume that he wasn't the Baba. Because they go to the Gurdwara and there he was. And they go, where's the Baba? And he's like, oh, I don't know. He must have gone out. So Guru Nanak Dev Ji was like this. They didn't dress in this normal way. Yeah? And they criticized the asceticism. I always find it hard to say this word. Yeah? They, you know, this kind of way of living separate from the world. They criticized that. They said, look, you're not living in the normal world. Why are you begging of these people? Why don't you earn your own money honestly? Yeah? So they criticize this, and the Siddhs, as I said, they attack Guruji. It's ineffective. They can't affect them. Yeah? And basically what happens is they have a long debate. Yeah? Obviously Guru Nanak Dev Ji likes debates because they've recorded one in Guru Granth Sahib Ji as well. But in this debate, at the end of this debate, this is what they say. Guru Nanak Dev Ji says, without the true name, everything is the shadows of clouds. Yeah? It's not the cloud itself, because the cloud itself exists, but the shadow doesn't exist. Yeah? When the cloud goes, shadow goes as well. Right? So they say this is, without Naam, nothing is real. Yeah? And the Siddhs, they get peace from Guru Shabads. And what they say is that they've won over all the six paths. So yogis had 6 different ways, and all 6 of them then accept Guru Nanak Dev Ji's way. And they don't change their way, but they accept that his way is Parvan, yeah? It's true. And they say these words. Bhai Gurdas Ji writes this, Siddh bolan subachan, tan nanak teri vadi kamai. Yeah, you know tan nanak. Kamai means you're earning, your spiritual earning. And then they say this, Vada purkh pargatya, Kaljug andar jyot jagai. In Kaljug, the dark age, yeah, a Vada purkh pargatya, a great being has come down. And we so called Mahatma now as Mahan Atma, but he wasn't. But Guru Nanak Dev Ji was. He was Vada Purkh Pargatya in Kaljug, right? To speak the truth, to bring the light. Jyot Jagai, so he brought the light. Couple more tales. This is something a bit more personal, because this, what Radha Shivnath goes through, is very similar to what we have to go through. Yeah. So what happens is Shivnab. Nab means your belly button, right? And Shiva, obviously Shiva. So Shiva's belly button is his name. Don't ask me what that means. But I'll tell you a little bit more about it. You know, Shiva was chopped into pieces, yeah, and his pieces fell all over the world, didn't it? So that's why you've got one part which is a lingam, yeah, and other places they have. So basically, he's the belly button part. But there was a garden in his place. It was very barren, yeah, and it was said to be infested with ghosts and stuff. And Raja Shivnab said, if anybody can make that garden bloom, then I'll accept them. They'll be like great saint. And Guruji went to this garden, and the garden just erupted in bloom. And it says in Bani, it says Yasatarti Pai Haryavali, where my Guru goes, it becomes Haryavali, becomes Hari, full of greenery. So this is what happens. The king then heard about this miracle and said, let me test this person. So they sent some jewels, see if he could be bought off with jewels. And Maharaj just laughed at them. Then they sent dancing girls, Effectively, when they say dancing girls, they mean, girls that would do a lot more than just dancing. Maharaj just says to them, you're my sisters. And they get embarrassed by this, yeah? Then also, then finally he comes himself. And he has a debate with Guru Nanak Dev Ji. And during this debate, he starts to get a little bit of fear for God. He realizes that maybe what he's doing is not in line with how he should live. So he gets a little bit of fear. And he says to Maharaj, that give me some seva. I want to do something. Like we sometimes feel, oh man, I'm so useless. Maybe if I do something good, yeah? So he says to Maharaj, give me some seva. Maharaj says, what can you offer? He says, Maharaj, maybe I can give you some money. Maharaj laughs at it. He goes, oh, you know what, I'll give you my whole kingdom. He thinks that will impress Guruji, yeah? Guruji laughs and he goes, look, your grandfather left it to your father. Your father left it to you. It wasn't yours. And you're going to give it on to your children. So it's not really yours at all to give away. He says, okay, maybe I'll give you my body. I'll do whatever you want with my body, whatever you ask me. Maharaj says, well, when you die, your soul will leave, but the body will stay behind. So your body is not yours either to give. Yeah, we can't give our body because, we have to leave it. So he goes, He goes, okay, I'll give you my name, my very name. Yeah, Maharaj says, that doesn't make any sense because your name is Shiva's belly button. And you're not Shiva's belly button, so you can't give me your name either. So now he's like, what can I, he goes, I don't know what to give you. What do you want? What can I give you? You tell me what I can give you. Maharaj says, how about you give me this eye? This eye you keep banging on about, I. Yeah? Why don't you give me this eye? Yeah? And this is the I-ness. Now, if you didn't realize, next week we're going to talk about, at the 23rd, we're going to do the spiritual path of Sikhi. Yeah? This will come up a lot more. But the word homme, have you heard this word before? Just put your hands up if you've heard this word homme before. Okay? Okay, alright. Most people have heard it. The word homme is actually two words together. Hon is I. Hon vari, ho varane, yeah? So ho kurban is ho is I. And then me is a very common word Punjabi for me. It's I, me. Yeah? So it's this sense of being separate, sense of I, me. Maharaj says, give me that. Give me your eye. And he bowed to Maharaj. Mata take them and said, Maharaj, I'll give you my eye. I'll just say you, not I. And then Guruji said, now rule in my name. Yeah? Do what you were going to do earlier, but now live for me. Yeah? And do what I tell you to do. And he asked for a place at Guruji's feet. That's what his only request was. So effectively, that famous quote that comes up, Jeto prem kilan ka chao, sil tal tali gali meri aao. Now a lot of people see that quote and they think, must be Guru Gobind Singh Ji. Because it resonates with the Amrit Sanchar, isn't it? With the giving your head. If you want to play the game of love, step onto my path with your head in the palm of of your hands. That resonates with what Guru Gobind Singh Ji asked for. But it was Guru Nanak Dev Ji that said this. Yeah? And it comes right at the end of Guru Granth Sahib Ji. So the game of love means give your head. Give everything. The I. Okay. Now this is one, again a bit more personal, a bit more detail, yeah? Rather than these kind of travelling stories. The story of Sajjan Thug. The reason I say this is because it's about reformation. Yeah? It's how we can be reformed. Now there's a lot of people, even some people that I know in this room, yeah, that were like myself. I was drinking, smoking weed, messing about with girls. That was me when I was 21. And then something happened and I changed my life. Yeah? Reformation, right? This is from Guru's blessings. Yeah? Basically, Sajjan Thug used to do this. He used to pretend to be a pious man. We get some of that nowadays now, Gurdwara as well, yeah? And what he would do is, he would have a mosque on one side of the road, and opposite the mosque he would have a mandir, right? So he covered both his bases. And what people would come along, travellers, and they'll say, oh, there's a mosque. And he would have a rest house in both places. So whoever you were, you could have a place to stay and rest. And what he would do is, with rich travellers, not everybody obviously, it wasn't like the Bermuda Triangle, they all disappeared. But with the rich travellers, he would poison them. He'd poison their food, and when they would die, he would throw them in the well. Okay? Get rid of the bodies and steal all their stuff. That was his job. Now, Maharaj turns up, sees the game for what it is, yeah? But they've gone for something, they've gone to reform this guy, yeah? So they go anyway. And they don't take the food, they go, we're not hungry, thanks. Bhai Mardanaji probably was quite hungry, yeah? But Maharaj says, no, we're not eating, yeah? So they don't eat anything. Now, when they're sitting inside in the darbar, Sajjan Thug's like, well, if I don't feed you, how am I going to kill you? You see, because he didn't want to really take part in bloodshed and all that kind of stuff, either poison someone. Now, when he's there, Guru Nanak Dev Ji starts singing, yeah, a shabad. But the shabad they sang, right, was very relevant to Sajjan. And the shabad changed him, you see. Right? And what they sang was this shabad, where they talked about this, look, they say, look, polished bronze, if you can shine it, make it really shiny and clean, but actually, when you touch it, it blackens. So you can't touch it. If you ever polished like brasso and stuff, I did it in the army a lot, you can't touch it after you've cleaned it, yeah, because it will leave a mark. So it's not really shiny, yeah, it's just a fake shine. So they say, look, polished bronze is shiny, but it blackens when it's touched. Now it stays impure no matter how much you clean it and shine it. It will never become purely pure. You will always be able to mark it with just one touch. Okay? And they said the same way, my real friends, and the word they use there is Sajjan, not my dost or anything, they use Sajjan. My real friends, he says, are those that travel and stand with me when my account is reckoned for. So when they do my liquor and they go good and bad, there my friends will speak for me. Okay? And what they say is, look, these herons with white feathers, you know why the heron is used, isn't it? Because the heron is like on one leg, the praying mantis, but it's not really it pretends to be spiritual, but it's not. Yeah? They say these herons, they stay in a sacred bathing place, but by devouring the living, they can't be called white, because they're very pristine looking herons, but they're not really, innit? Because they're murderers in that sense, right? Now Maharaj says, do service and good deeds. What use are clever gains? Yeah? And they say, oh Nanak, contemplate the Naam and sever your fetters. You're trapped in this bandhan. Sajjan hears this and realizes Maharaj knows what he's about. Okay? And he literally just reforms. And he falls at Maharaj's feet. He says, Maharaj, I was going to murder you. I was going to rob you. And I've done it many, many times before. And he takes him to see the well where all the dead bodies are in there. He says, this is what I do. I rob dead people. I rob rich people. And he said, look, I want to be a Sikh. I want to do better. What can I do? Guru Sahib says, now, what you must do is give away all of your wealth, yeah, and run these guest houses as seva. So what he had was previously a robbing place, now he turns it into a proper seva. He does this. And Sajjan, from then on, would just sing Kirtan, do Naam Simran, and his sins were forgiven. So imagine he's a what you might call like not even a murderer, but a multiple murderer. How many people he's killed, robber, murderer. Where in today's world they'd be sending him down for if in the UK there's no death sentence, but he would never be coming out. Yeah, Maharaj reformed his character. So one thing that is important to note, that's why if you look at Ranjit Singh's kingdom, there's never the death penalty. The other Reformation, yeah, everybody can reform. So that's an important point, and forgiveness as well. All right, we'll have a little break there, and we're going to go after this. The next part it's going to be quotes from Bani. Okay, what does Guru Sahib say about different topics? And it's all going to be Guru Nanak Dev Ji's own quotes. Alright.